All right, folks, welcome in. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we have some news. Thank God, because it is a dead period right now as we get ready for literally next week. I believe Monday is the start at noon Eastern time, the legal tampering period, and I hate every single bit of that term. Legal tampering. I know I'm not the only one that hates that. But regardless of that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And in addition to that, just want you guys know that today's video sponsor is BetUS. And if you are looking for a sports book, whether it's the MLB, March Madness, NBA, NHL, be sure to check on over at BetUS. You can use the promo code YouTube150 to get 150% bonus match on your first deposit and 125% on your next two deposits using that code. Be sure to bet responsibly. Okay, I said news. What's the news? Well, Jordan Rodrigue, who is an excellent reporter, comes out and tweets out about 3 hours ago. So, I mean, I don't know when you'll be seeing this, but 3 hours ago, Rob Havenstein and Tyler Higbee will be back in 2025. McVay confirms they are not free agents, but their age/both entering final years on deal. It merited the confirmation. And I could not agree more. As a matter of fact, I think this is a perfect point. There really was kind of this, not really this understanding of what the hell is going on. I know they brought back Stafford. I know that they are interested in a contract extension with Kyren Williams, but that doesn't change the fact that he's going to be the Rams running back in 2025 regardless. What I didn't know, because all we know is this: Cooper Kupp is likely not going to return. However, he would not close the door on that. He said he doesn't deal in absolutes. But let's just say Cooper Kupp doesn't return. So really, kind of what you're getting at is this team wants to get younger at wide receiver, and you would think maybe the door is open to get younger at other positions, including Rob Havenstein at right tackle and Tyler Higbee at tight end. But I can assure you, this is a really good thing for the Rams. And the reason being is because now you really have that tight end, number one tight end spot filled for now. You need to address it. And I do think it's going to be addressed within the first three picks of the NFL draft or via trade, but I do believe it'll be addressed. First and foremost, the next thing is Rob Havenstein. While it would be great to go out and get a tackle, and they certainly can do it in the first three picks of the draft, whatever, it's really good when you have the longest standing Ram coming back who really just, your win-loss record without him is crazy. So Havenstein, Higbee are back. But what does that mean? What did we learn from this? Well, I feel like we learned quite a bit about the 2025 Rams in a short amount of time. When there was a lot of question marks, will Stafford be back? Who's going to be playing tight end? Rob Havenstein was even talking about potentially retiring. Now we know, at least for now, the expectation is that Higbee and, of course, Havenstein will be back. And they're going to try and run it back and win a Super Bowl, a second one. And, to be honest with you, I think this is the right approach to keep Higbee and Havenstein. I think they both offer a lot. Havenstein, the injuries are going to be a little bit of a concern. Higbee had a freak injury, but then when he came back at the end of the year, the offense was just night and day different. So this is how I look at it. Quarterback's locked in, at least for the next year, maybe 2, maybe 3. Who knows? We don't know the details of that deal. So quarterback's locked in. Matthew Stafford is locked in. And by the way, I don't care that he threw 20 touchdowns. As far as I'm concerned, he could have thrown 30. He could have thrown 10. What I care about is the way he plays down in, down out. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and he's the only quarterback I want. Quarterback in my football team. I've said that so many times, it's probably not really worth mentioning anymore. Anyway, running back. We know that they're working on an extension for Kyren Williams. What we don't know is if that will get done, but what we do know is that he will be the Rams running back in 2025. Then wide receiver. We know they needed some receivers. They have 3 receivers that were on their roster last year that are returning. Okay, Puka Nacua, definitely, obviously. He'll get paid soon, maybe next year. Puka Nacua is 1. 2, you got Jordan Whittington, who I'm very thrilled about. And 3, you have Xavier Smith, who's more of a special team returner guy. Now, I wouldn't be stunned if Demarcus Robinson returned. I would be if Tutu Atwell did, although I think Atwell would be the better option, but they haven't really utilized Atwell. Cooper Kupp, I still feel like, and I don't know why, I still have this kind of inkling in my mind that he might not be gone. Like, he probably is, but there's still part of me, kind of the same thing with Stafford. It's why I never said it was 100% certain that he was gone. I was like, still that 1%, 2% chance. I just couldn't. That's kind of what I have with Cooper Kupp. And the reason being is that there's a lot of reporting out there that if the Rams can't get this done, they'll trade him or whatever, or they'll cut him. I want to make this clear. Cooper Kupp has value. It's not that the Rams can't trade Cooper Kupp. There's 2 teams that would offer him at least a 4th-round pick, or the Rams a 4th-round pick. But that comes with stipulations. And that's this is the big thing here. The Rams have to decide with Cooper Kupp whether or not they want to take on more of his money and get a better pick, or get a lesser pick and have less money. And that's the thing. So you're basically deciding, do you want his cap flexibility? Do you want more of it? You're not going to get a ton of it, but do you want more of it? Or do you want the draft pick? Do you want a better draft pick? And to be honest with you, that's really what it comes down to. Do you want the better draft pick? Do you want this? Do you want that? That's really what it comes down to. So when I see reports out there like Cooper Kupp might not have a market and the Rams might have to cut him, it's not that. There's more layers to that. I think there's way more layers to that. Because, the reality of the situation is this. Cooper Kupp is valued. Still on this team. He's still valued in the building. He's incredibly intelligent. He is like an extension of the coaching staff. He's like having a second quarterback out on the field. He's like having Marshall Faulk to Kurt Warner. He is. Cooper Kupp is incredibly smart. Super heady. But here's the deal. Okay? What I will say is this. Cooper Kupp could be back. But if he's not back, he can go somewhere else and still do some... he's not 100% what he was. He's still a good receiver. I think the issue right now is that the Rams are wrestling. Do they want to get a really good pick or a good pick for Kupp? Or do they want to have this be a pick swap late round and just get rid of the money? And that's what they have to figure out, because they can still free about $12 million in cap space if they trade him away and a team takes on that full year. But if a team wants to take on that full year, then they're going to come back and say, yeah, we're not going to give you a 4th rounder. We'll give you a 6th or a 7th. And that's really what's being figured out. But no, Cooper Kupp absolutely does have a market. And the Rams absolutely could trade him away. It's a matter of, do they want to trade him away for, do they want to eat money? Do they want to get that pick? That's what they have to figure out. And if they decide, you know what? The only way for us for this to even be worth it is to eat money, and we don't want to do it, they might just cut him outright and let him go find his own team, or he might come back on a reduced deal. Who knows? I don't know, but I will not rule it out until it's done. That's how I feel about that. So then you have tight end. Like I said, Tyler Higbee. You got Davis Allen, dealt with some back issues last year, kind of held him back, but I do like him. And I look at Hunter Long as somebody that's a good blocker, but I think they wanted him to take the next step as a receiving threat, which of course is what he was coming out of college. And he just didn't quite look comfortable in that. So my guess here is that wide receiver, we just talked about Cooper Kupp and Tutu Atwell and Demarcus Robinson. My guess is they add 3 receivers this offseason, maybe 2 via the draft, 1 free agency. They add at least 1 tight end, and they add a running back as well. Will they draft a quarterback? That's kind of up in the air. I think they might, but I think it would be like a day 3. I would expect, I'll go as far as to say this. I think it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo or Zach Wilson backing up Matthew Stafford. That's how I feel. We'll see how it happens, but that's how I feel. And they might draft a quarterback, but maybe in like day 3. Again, running back, I think they'll probably draft one. If they sign one, look out for Ty Johnson. I think he makes a lot of sense. It has that familiarity, of course, with Mike LaFleur. Wide receiver, I feel like they're going to draft one high, whether that's the first or second round via like a trade down. They're going to draft one high, and then they're going to draft like kind of that mid-tier. Expect this. When Cooper Kupp was drafted, let's just call him a first-round pick because he ended up being basically a first-round pick the way he played. They drafted Josh Reynolds, right? It's like when, this is actually what I would compare it to. When the Rams drafted Tavon Austin in the first round and then they drafted Stedman Bailey, no, this isn't me saying that Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel will be drafted by the Rams, although that would be freaking awesome. And they'd be reunited with Nate Scheelhaase, who, by the way, Sean McVay mentioned multiple times today. But that kind of idea where you get a guy in the first and you get a guy in the third, I think that's something that the Rams could look at. So, we'll see how that goes down. We'll see if there's a trade involved. We'll see if maybe Devontae Adams is still in play. I know he was 100% going here if Aaron Rodgers came here, but now with Stafford, Devontae Adams, he might have to make a tough call because if the Rams like him enough, are you going to go and play with Aaron Rodgers when you know you're not winning a Super Bowl in, say, New York or Pittsburgh? Or are you going to go to the Rams where you know you can win a Super Bowl and play with Matthew Stafford? I think the choice is obvious, but it's more so like a loyalty thing. The offensive line, I feel really good about the fact all 5 guys will be returning, but do you start preparing for the future? Do you draft a guy to replace Havenstein, down the road so you're ready instead because this is his last year under contract? Maybe they bring him back, but this is last year under contract. So that is something to keep in mind. But anyway, those are the things that we learned today on the offense. We learned that Higbee and Havenstein will be back, and I kind of just threw my own spin on it. We'll continue with the prospect breakdowns. I'll try and get them out a little bit quicker. They take a while, and I really like just watching a lot of tape before I have a scouting report, which, as you know, the format of those, if you've been watching, I start with my scouting report, all my notes, and kind of go through it and explain, the fit maybe with the Rams. And then we look at the tape. Maybe I should cut down on the tape, maybe not make it as long, especially because Exos Digital copyright claim because they've never heard of fair use in their entire life and they don't care about it, clearly. I don't know, but maybe we'll go that route. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. There'll be more content coming to you real soon. But as always, if you want to stay up to date, be sure to subscribe. If you want this to continue to appear in your recommended section on YouTube, in your algorithm, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to keep this thing going, keep the train rolling, keep this thing, the people can continue to find my videos, be sure to drop a comment. That's going to do it for me. You guys take care. I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks. All right, guys. So once again, just want to let you guys know that you can check out my new side project, The Lounge. I interview athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, all the 9. So definitely check it out over on the Lounge with Jake Ellenbogen channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.